Are you plain bored of woodworking? Get excited again with Fisheye's Make Your Own Sandpaper Kit. Fisheye's Sandpaper Kit comes with everything you see here. Just pick your paper, spread the glue, and shake on the sand. Voila! Beautiful handcrafted sandpaper. And if you act now, we'll include candy sprinkles absolutely free. What better way to say I love you than with a gift of sandpaper? Fisheye's Make Your Own Sandpaper Kit is just $19.99 wherever crappy gifts are sold.
Hi, Gary. Hi, Jim. I hear it's time for another episode of In Touch with Brant Aerials. I hear you got a great show tonight. I'm looking forward to it. Well, I gotta go. I got a thing to take care of.
Oh, boy. Welcome back, everybody. It's been a while since we've been on. Don is mobile, but we don't have a signal from him. John Childs was first in line tonight at 4:42. And then Don joined us. He was second in line, but John had to pee. So Don became first, and they crossed streams, and I lost track of who was first. But we've got quite a crew in here today. We've got Paul, Wedge and Big is here, and Brian, Waypoint New England has joined us, and Flying Flynn Media, John's with us, and Andrew is with us, and I see Scott in the back room, and Jerry Bowers here, and here we go. Mobile.
I've been here. I had my camera turned off to save on bandwidth.
Oh, okay.
Because I am mobile and the signal might drop out.
Don joins us remotely for a Brant Aerials traffic update. How's the traffic out there today?
Should I repeat? The traffic is horrible out here. The radio station has been dropping live turkeys all over the highway. It's a massacre.
Happy Thanksgiving. We've had Thanksgiving a month ago, so we're over it here.
And
but we're just lined up for the Black Friday deals. We still get Black Friday here, so yeah. So how's it going with you?
It is going good. I just started a new job.
Okay.
So that's why I am not at home in front of my computer.
All right.
Get off until 5 o'clock on the dot. So luckily I'm close to home, so I'll be there in a minute.
Oh, very good. Good stuff. I started a new job this week too. I started on Monday and quit at lunchtime Tuesday. So
And what job was that?
I was working for a courier service, and one of the big ones. And yeah, I just said, nope, not doing this. I had 2 days of training the week before, and they set me loose on Monday, and that went into overtime. And then Tuesday they pulled a fast one on me, and we'll get into that later. But it was a shit show.
Wait, are you the reason that my drone is not to me yet?
No, I don't go that far south.
Okay.
Hey, we got a guest here.
We'll bring him on.
Are you ready?
I'm excited.
This is one of the happiest people I know on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, Scott France.
Hey, I don't know about that, boy. I'll tell you what, I was almost going to be mobile too. I didn't have time to put makeup on. So,
well, I had an hour of hair and makeup just to get me looking like this, you know.
I don't know why I was thinking, it was going to be 7 o'clock. It didn't matter. I mean, 6. I like 6 better anyway. But
yeah.
It was literally, I was walking through the door at like 6:55 or 5:55.
So you didn't get my email at 5 o'clock.
I got it, but I was driving when I got it, and I was like, "Oh shoot, I need to." We're having a big family event this weekend, and we're going to Jacksonville, so we had to just go get rid of all our animals.
Oh, okay.
And So we were at the veterinarian, you know, boarding animals.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
I'm glad you said you were boarding the animals instead of putting them down.
No, we were dropping them off at the neighbors' houses. That's how we got them all. You know, they're all rescue animals. Everybody just dumped them off at the house.
There you go.
So anyway,
as everybody knows, Scott is the creator of the let's get up there, the Faces of the Drone Community posters, and he's right about there on the poster, right next to the Brant Ariels coffee mug, and he's been on the wall here for a while, right there. So
I think I was number 41 or something like that. I can't remember now.
On the first one?
Yeah. Oh no, not my number. On your show, that's
Oh, okay.
yeah.
You were 34 on the poster.
Yeah, I tell you now, I have to go look at the numbers myself. So.
Well, and here's the thing: I've been checking off who's been on, trying to fill this poster, right?
Right.
And then you made more people on the poster, so
I'm gonna be adding about 10 or 15 more, and then I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be doing this. So
you should have stopped at one. I'm having trouble filling that one. Because you got the West Coasters, and we're on at 3:00 in the afternoon on the West Coast. So Al Diaz is hard to get, and Steve Carpenter. Some of these people work jobs, and they just don't quit.
I mean, you bring it. I mean, so 6:00. I like a 6:00 show because I'm on the East Coast.
Yeah,
but you're right. Over there, it's 5:00 Central Time. It's 4:00. What is it? Western Time or?
Yeah,
I forgot what the next.
Pacific.
Anyway,
There's
Pacific. That's
Eastern, Central, Mountain, and Pacific.
Right.
Yeah. And then we have two more time zones in Canada. We have Atlantic and Newfoundland.
Hey, DeMarco, I see DeMarco's in here.
Oh, DeMarco Moore. Jim's Droning has joined us. And Ken, place it here. And
I'm wearing a place it here hat tonight.
Oh, there you go. I think there's a Johnny Drone flyer over there. And my Captain Ray Kelly hat's in the car. I was wearing that when I was working. And yes, Chris Hope is on the poster.
Look at that one right there.
There you go. Hey, that's cool. Yeah, that's a good one. Your sticker's right next to your picture up there too, and on the case somewhere. Yeah. So
we got South Florida Drone meetup coming up. I'm gonna have to make me some more, I guess.
Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it this year.
Really?
Yeah. So.
Man, that is not good news.
No. Well, Okay. Oh, I forgot to mention, no politics, religion, or racism. Kindness and respect are required. Okay, so that's done. So now we can switch the banner. There we go. Don't forget to hit the like button. Yeah. So what's new with you, Scott? You're in your he shed?
Yeah. We're all. I'm not going to be working tomorrow, so had to come up here and help the wife get rid of all the animals. I mean, that's a production and a half because none of them like the car ride. So
yeah,
and we had 2 animals, and now we're up to 4. So that makes it so much worse. But
we had 2 dogs, and they died, and then we got 2 more dogs, and then a couple months ago, we live out in the country, right? Somebody dumped 2 kittens in our yard.
Yep, that's where we're getting our animals.
Yeah, so we took the 2 kittens and took them into the vet and had them neutered. And now they live in my garage. They'll keep the mice out of the garage. Yep,
that's the same concept we got too. So
yeah. But they sit on the windowsill and look inside the house like, "Can you let me in?" I said, "No." we're terribly allergic to cats. So.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
I tell you now, I know Don's a good guy because he eats poke salad.
Absolutely. At least
you
one
know,
bowl a year.
I eat poke salad. I've had poke salad before. I mean, I didn't know there was that many people out there that ate it. So
Not too many people do because it smells like wet socks when you're cooking it.
it's actually quite good though. It's
Oh yeah.
it's like mustard greens, only it's smooth and it's
I have at least one bowl a year.
yeah.
What is poke salad?
Poke greens.
salad. Isn't there a song about poke salad?
Yeah, poke salad Annie. Elvis Presley did a version of it. Poke salad Annie. Yeah. Basically, it is a wild edible that is poisonous.
Yeah. So
Wait a
is
minute.
elderberries. Have you ever had?
I've never had elderberries, but Gary, you've just confessed that you don't watch my channel.
I watch your channel.
You must not, or else you would have known exactly what poke greens are because I did an entire video on it.
When?
He went out and picked it and cooked
That
it
would have been last spring.
and ate it.
I showed you what it was, how to cook it.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've probably seen it, and it just skipped my mind because I have your bell rung every time you post something.
Yeah, you're about to get your bell rung.
Oh man! So
yeah, just a wild edible.
Yeah. So you got a whole bunch of people coming over, or are you going away for the Thanksgiving?
Oh no, actually, since we're going to do this event, and then we're not going to have anybody at our house on Thanksgiving.
Ooh, that sounds nice.
Matter of fact, this is what I'll be doing Thanksgiving.
Oh,
Hopefully next time I'm on camera, I've got sheetrock up, but I don't know. This is a long time coming. I've been kind of getting upset that we don't have this done. We've been trying to get the she shed done, and I've been told that's not the she shed. It's the honey badger headquarters.
the honey.
Now, are you going to have somebody do that sheetrock for you? Or are you going to try and do it?
No, we do. We do all our own work. The only work we don't do is, in this time, I do have central air, so we didn't do that, and we don't do electrical.
Yeah,
but everything else
our
we
old
do.
house.
So of course,
I did everything at the old house, and I made a promise to I made a vow that, any sheetrock that I need done, I'm gonna pay somebody to do it because they can come in here and get it done like one day where it take me a week, and I have white boogers for the entire week.
It's funny you say that because on our ride home, we were just talking about that. We have one more building to do. Hopefully, we're going to build our house one day. That's supposed to be the next thing that we do. And that's what my wife and I were just talking about. So I don't think we're going to do the sheetrock on that one. Yeah. And I was telling her about somebody that's building their house right now, and they put the walls up in one day and had the roof on the next day. And I was like, for us, it'd take us a week, 2 weeks to get it all done, so.
Yeah. I'm thinking of doing the garage, but I'll do it in chipboard. And then just paint it, right?
This building here is actually a metal building, so we didn't do that either. So we've done less work on this one than ever. But now this office part that we built on the inside, we did do all that. So
okay. Now you had some weather to contend with during that build too, eh?
Oh, let me tell you what. I don't know if you can see this. You know what that is? That's a space heater.
Oh, okay.
It's supposed to go down to 39 tonight. So, well, I'm going ahead and getting my spot warmed up before it gets cold.
Yeah, it's 33 here now.
Jeez. Yeah, I was going to make my background snow and tell John, I know what it's like for him living. So
I don't think we've got snow in the forecast, though.
I say Bill's in here. Uncle Bill.
Oh,
John's in here.
Yeah. John Flynn, we mentioned
well, no, that other John Unlimited Vertical. I see he went back to his old name too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we get snow on Friday the 29th. It's the first projected snow. So
we got done with Christmas one time, and I've been fortunate enough to see snow a few times. Well, we decided that we were going to show our kids snow because there's supposed to be snow coming through. And so we just jumped in the vehicle the next day. I think it was like Christmas, the day after Christmas. and we started driving. We got on Highway 27, which just goes straight north. And we ended up in Indiana before we finally found the snow. And we went to Flurries where we were filling up the gas, and we're all excited. Look, Flurries. And we go up the road maybe 5 miles, and all of a sudden we're in a blizzard.
Yeah.
And then we drove for like 1-2 miles at about 10 or 15 miles an hour. And luckily enough, there was a hotel to stay at.
Wow.
So,
we're about 50-50 getting snow at Christmas.
well, you don't want to get behind a Florida boy driving in the snow, but man, I had people right on my bumper because I was driving a truck, so
Yeah.
they were riding my tracks. We got through it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I don't look forward to snow. I live in Canada, but snow, no. It's some of it's.
I joke around. I got thin blood to feed mosquitoes, not thick blood to stay warm.
So there you go. My daughter's already talking about putting her car away for the winter, but I think we're going to have to put a car cover on it so the cats don't rip up the top. Or she could put the top down, right? Oh, then they get the seats.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's not good. Anyway. So how's the weather been down there in the fall? Is you getting any?
It's usually hot.
Yeah.
I mean, we really only get about 2 to 3 weeks of cold weather. And now last year we got about 4 or 5 weeks in a row of below freezing weather.
Yeah.
Which for us really plays havoc because we have fruit trees here, and of course a lot of them took a big hit. And
yeah. We've got apples and pears here, and they seem to be okay, but they lose their leaves early, and so it's a seasonal thing, right? Do you generally bear fruit year round?
Actually, we just we hadn't had this farm a long time. I think we bought it in 2012. And I think we've only put the fruit trees in about 3 years ago. So we're just now getting where we're producing any fruit. So,
Yeah.
And even then it's kind of sketchy. The trees are just too young right now. So.
Yeah. I had a friend of my parents who was a landscaper, and he went down to Florida. He was at a nursery, and he bought some bulbs, and he said to the guy, he says, when should I plant these? The guy looked at him and said, when you get home. Up here it's a real seasonal thing, right?
Yeah, right.
In Canada, you don't plant bulbs until mid-May at the earliest.
Well, the ground's frozen, right?
Yeah.
And see, I'm telling you, a Southern boy doesn't understand that. There's a YouTuber, Cromartie. He's in New York, and he does a lot of land clearing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I've seen him sit there, with his excavator trying to break through that ground, and it's like a rock.
Oh yeah.
He's actually digging underneath them. It's like that's crazy. So
it's only like a rock for the first 18 inches.
Yeah.
Well, it all depends on the freeze line, right? So I know about freeze lines, because if I design a foundation, I got to put it below that freeze line.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it heaves it and pushes it up, right?
Yeah. We didn't have a whole lot of frost last year. Like, it didn't go deep. And my boy Mac, the dog, he died in late March, and the frost was out of the ground, so I was able to dig a hole, for him. But he was considerate in that he waited until the frost was out of the ground.
Yeah, that would have made it very uncomfortable to put him in the deep freeze next to the leftovers.
That used to be one of my jobs when I was young. My dad was a veterinarian. So I'd get home from school, and he said, hey, you got 4 cats to bury and 1 dog to bury. And we'd go bury them out in the garden.
Yeah. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 5 dogs in the yard, and 1, 2, 3, 4 cats. 4 cats and 5 dogs out in the yard. So Makes it hard to leave, you know. Got all these bodies scattered all over the place.
I got a I got a funny story about that, and I ought not tell it, especially on YouTube. But I had a friend of mine. His girlfriend's cat died, and it was he and I were supposed to go pick this thing up from the veterinarian, and she'd bought a casket for the cat. I don't remember where she was, but she wasn't with us. We get this cat out and take it out there to put it in the casket. Well, they froze the cat. The cat was frozen before we could get it. So we come out with this frozen cat. And we're supposed to put it in this casket because we're going to have this big ceremony in the backyard. Well, it was our job to get that cat in that casket. All I can say is we did.
Oh man, up here in Toronto, a guy had 2 monkeys, and they were living in his garage, and they froze to death. Right?
Yeah.
So he thought, well, he took him to a taxidermist, and he said, you know, I'd like these 2 monkeys stuffed. And the guy said, would you like them mounted? He said, no, holding hands would be fine.
I saw that old one coming from.
You saw that coming a mile away.
Mhm.
Oh man.
Yeah, but so you've got people coming before Thanksgiving, or you're going away?
No, what we're doing, my son-in-law, my granddaughter, and we're basically just going all to Jacksonville and going to spend the weekend there together and do a bunch of different events over there.
Oh, well, that's cool.
Our last event, I've been told, is to go to IKEA. So I'm going to try to go see if I can come find a place here because he's in that area.
Oh, okay.
And let them go to IKEA, and we're going to go to the RC shop and go shopping instead, do our shopping. So we're not going to have time to go fly, so we thought, we'll just go see if we can go buy some parts. So,
you're going to go do some bind and fly.
Yeah, there you go. I see old Jeff's in here, Carolina Air Shots.
There you go. Jerry Bauer's here.
Yep.
And there's Bob from Old Farts with Drones, hot off the Las Vegas drone meetup.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. And John from Unlimited Vertical is back.
So Don, there's no eclipse this time. So you gonna come to the South Florida drone meetup this time?
Well, I started a new job this week, and I was hoping, because I'm going back to the same place I used to work, and I had put in 23 years there, and I had 4 weeks of vacation a year, and it was a little over. It used to be you come back within 5 years and you get to keep all that and continue on with your years of service. They changed that last year to be 1 year, and I missed it by 2 months of going back. So I'm back down to having 1 week of vacation. My wife has already scheduled us for a trip down to Pensacola.
I know Pensacola quite well. That's closer to where I'm at. You know, I'm in the armpit of Florida. So you're over here on the Panhandle.
Yep.
You're really out there on the end of it, almost. Pensacola.
Yeah, it's barely Florida.
Yep. Yeah, you can sneeze and you're in Alabama or Mobile, Alabama.
Mm-hmm. But
you get caught in a tunnel.
That's a kind of a fun. And what is it? The USS Alabama, come through the tunnel. You're just right there, USS Alabama.
Yep. That's exactly right.
And we went there and we visited that last time we were down there. But anyway, she's got us scheduled for that vacation, so I'm not going to have any vacation time to get away for playing.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Hey, take it up with my wife. I will give you her cell phone number. In fact, I'll put it in chat. Everybody give her a ring.
Yeah. We'll get Jeff from Carolina Air Shots involved. He's just joined us in the chat. So yeah. So yeah, it should be a good event. You know, the South Florida drone meetup is always a good one. And
to me, my favorite part is basically staying at that hotel. Staying down there in the lobby or out in the parking lot or wherever else we decide to go.
out in the pool, you go swimming.
You're the pool guy. Yeah, it's funny. I'm in Florida. I don't even think about going swimming. I mean, at a pool too. On top of that, that's why I found out that's where you were hanging out.
Swimming with Ray Kelly and Jordy Beauchart, and I think TJ was in too. Yeah.
Y'all have heated pools and pools indoors too, which is kind of.
Oh, my pool's closed for the winter, and so is my hot tub.
So Gary, you kind of live the way I do. I've got farmland all the way around me, so I love seeing when they start harvesting. They just picked the peanuts. I missed that. So
okay, yeah.
Man, you got to. I'm gonna tell you. I'll be honest. I grew up in the farming community. I've been somewhat away from it, but they don't farm like we did in the beginning. I mean, they put one crop in, take it out, and put another one right back.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest, I don't really understand that. I was like, you don't even give your soil any time to recuperate. And I hope we're not screwing things up.
Well, but you're rotating crops, right? You're not planting corn.
Yeah, and they do supplement the soils with, they'll come in and broadcast whatever to supplement the soil. But I just, I thought you're supposed to let a field rest for 7 years or something like that and rotate the fields.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't see that at all anymore. It's
this year we had soybeans, right? And they harvested the soybeans and it was raining, so I couldn't fly.
Right.
Right. And then they waited a couple of weeks, and then they did the next field, which was corn, and it rained then too. So,
well, they're picking cotton here right now. Of course, they don't pick cotton the same way anymore either. It's one day and it's gone. It's and they come in convoys. It's like they're hiring one farmer to harvest all the crops in the area, and he comes in with 10, 15 tractors. Have 4 or 5 in this field, 4 or 5 in that field, and they're just steady. And then trucks running up and down the roads, blowing Georgia snow all over the highway.
Yeah, that's what you see here too. It's all contracted, right? So you got a guy that's got 3 or 4 combines. He's combining this field, but he's doing the other farmer's field down the way and another one down the way. Yep. So.
It's the same with haying now too.
Yeah. It's all
because it's easier just to hire somebody, come in with their gear, get it done instead of the upkeep on your equipment. And
like one farmer can't own all that equipment.
Well, no, but it used to be that you'd have 3 or 4 farmers that would kind of pool together and.
Well, the family farm's gone now. What they've done is come in and. Still family farmers, but they bought all their neighbors' farms and they're farming, mega farming with family farms, I guess. So it's a family farm. We used to be 100 to 300 acres. Now you're talking thousands of acres.
Yeah. Walmart's a family business.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, I've been joking around for a long time saying, we don't live in a capitalist country anymore. We're in a socialist because everything's corporate. We just went out to eat and we were let's go get some barbecue. And it's like, man, I can't find any barbecue. It's all, I can find barbecue, but what my point is, it's corporations. It's franchise.
All changed. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, dang, man, I remember going to, Joe's barbecue.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that hasn't really gone corporate is fish and chips.
Really?
Right? Like
we got Long John Silver's.
Really? Yeah. We don't have that here. We've got all these little mom and pop places, right?
Well, that's good for you. Keep that, but we don't. It's gone corporate for us.
Or else somebody.
What was it? Long John Silver's and what's the other one? There was 2 At least we had two of them. That,
Captain D's we used to have.
yeah, Captain D's. Matter of fact, I forgot it's Captain D's that we have.
Yeah.
That's at the front of my where my office is.
Yeah, Captain Grease.
We had
Yeah.
we had Arthur Treachers
Yeah.
back. Oh God, that's got to be 45 years ago. You know, but that didn't last. You know. But,
Oh no,
I see there's
we got
Jamie.
several locally owned barbecue places here though.
Yeah.
And
if you go to Texas, they got some good barbecue, and it's that way. So
Yeah. Well, we've got.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd drive all the way down to Texas when I can just head north up to Kansas City. It's closer.
I've had Kansas City barbecue too. That's pretty good too.
Yeah.
But when we went to Spin Up, we hit a different barbecue place almost every night.
Mm-hmm.
And man, every one of them. Now there was one or two I might have said it was a little bit better than the other one, but they were super.
Yeah.
So,
We've got a barbecue place that's not franchised about half an hour away, and it's really good. It's it's pretty good. Well, actually, there's two of them. One's Cajun though. Yeah. So
I'll tell you what we got now. If you want to go to a local restaurant, you go to a Mexican restaurant, and it's not one. You got 5 or 6 to pick from. But it's authentic Mexican food, and it's pretty darn good.
okay, it's not. Was it Chili's? What's
Taco Bell's?
Well, yeah, Taco Bell. I don't know how they stay in business up here. Taco Bell and Arby's. You drive by and the parking lots is empty at Arby's and Taco Bell.
They get all their business after hours.
I don't know what they're doing.
All those people that got the munchies.
I don't know how they're staying in business.
Hey, Lawrence is in here.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. How many people we got watching? What's going on here?
Yeah, what,
Let's
16?
take a look. 16 watching, and hold on, let me refresh this. Hey, we got 12 likes. That's pretty good.
I haven't given you mine yet.
You're pretty
What?
popular, Scott.
I'm not in any place I can give it to you, so
There you go.
let's see if
So,
I can multitask.
yeah.
So, I started doing my own show on Monday.
Yes. Tell us about your show.
Oh, it's a show about nothing, really.
Seinfeld.
Yeah, I don't even know why I'm doing it, to be honest with you. I just, it's selfishness, really, because I just like hanging out with you guys, and nobody was doing it. It's like, what am I supposed to do on Monday? Ray was in that spot, and he quit. He quit it. He moved to a different spot, and so I don't know. I said, let me try it, but I'm going to tell you, going live every week is not easy, which I knew that. And I said, I'll do it as long as I'm having fun. But when I'm not having fun, I'm not going to do it anymore.
Exactly.
Look how it's worn Gary out, and he only goes on once a month.
Every second week, I had to cancel a week. I had a grand opening I had to attend.
Costco's.
Oh, how'd your colonoscopy go?
Oh, it was fine. Hey, look.
Hey, it says you got 18 likes.
I figured that was your grand opening.
I got an endoscope. Hey, so I gotta do it yourself colonoscopy.
Is that what happens when you check out early?
Yeah.
Patient checked himself out, dragging wires.
I got it so that I can check inside walls looking for mice.
Oh,
I was going to get one of those things too.
Yeah. You just hook it up to your phone, right? And
Right.
then it was no extra charge, but I got the one that hooks up to iPhone or Android or the new iPhone. So I kept my old iPhone and it's got the lightning plug. So I use that one on the old phone. And if I don't have the old phone near me, I can use the new
Gary,
phone.
I think what you're doing here is teasing a very special new feature of your show.
What's that?
Will it endoscope?
Will it endoscope? Oh,
What was that?
I hung it up and strung my guitar.
Do you play an instrument too?
No, the only instrument I play is the phonograph.
I play, that's about my style too. I play the Jew's harp and what's a kazoo.
Oh, there you go. Back in the day, I used to
Hey, Ray Kelly.
travel in Northern Ontario, and there was no radio, right? Like you'd get out in the middle of no place, and there was nothing to listen to in the car, and I was doing these long trips. So I bought 2 harmonicas and taught myself to play harmonica while I was driving.
Mhm.
You know, you
So
gotta-
I'm not musically inclined, but I love listening to music. I know Don there, you play guitar, don't you?
Ukulele, some.
Ukulele, really?
Yeah, not a lot, but some.
A real ukulele. I mean, not. I love listening to Dennis, and I think Dennis is great.
There
But
you go.
Got one
I
out here, got one in the-
marvel at people that can play. I took piano lessons. I took piano lessons when I was young by force,
Mhm.
so I would be well rounded.
Yeah. Well, like you said, I can place my hand on a kazoo, and not a jaw harp, but it is a Dan Moy, which is very similar, and which wah, 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 wah,
Yeah.
but I can bite it, which I prefer.
Okay.
And then I got 3 harmonicas over here. I got 2 more in the drawer here of my desk. So, and I'm mediocre at all of them.
How about what was the little flute type thing?
Recorder?
Accordion?
A recorder?
Yeah,
or-
that's it.
Or
Yep.
a penny whistle.
Yeah.
I have a penny whistle around here too.
I saw who was it? It was Joe Walsh
Oh.
was on Jimmy Kimmel and said he started out his first instrument was the oboe,
Mm-hmm.
but he said it's hard to sing and play the oboe. You can't accompany yourself on an oboe.
Well, I did
And
piano
there's
lessons.
food.
Oh yeah, I did
Those are
piano lessons, and we did recitals and everything. But I did it as long as I had to, and the first chance I got, I didn't have to do it anymore. I was out.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it
We
was
had-
work. I mean,
yeah.
it really was hard for me. So
We had a Hammond organ, and I taught myself to play, but I could only play Beatles tunes. That was all I knew, you know. And I could pick out the chords,
Mhm.
but it was all just by ear, you know. Yeah, you just had to do it by ear. And then I
Right.
got the sheet music, and I wasn't playing what was on the sheet music. I played it, but it sounded better than the sheet music anyway. So
You should have tried using your fingers. It probably would have sounded better.
I
Playing by
decided,
ear.
I decided to torment my kids just like my mother did us. So we went to go buy a electric piano,
Mhm.
and I go into the store and I told him, I said, well, you know, I'd had lessons a long time ago, hadn't played in a long time ago. And he said, well, why don't you play around with it for a little while and see if you want to buy it or not. So there was 1 or 2 tunes that I still kind of remembered how to play, and I was sitting there playing it and kind of messing around, and I found a button where you could hit the button and it would play something. I said, oh, you're right, man, it did. It's all come back now.
you just
So that's about as well as it. We did end up buying it, and that's about all that thing did was play by itself. So
very good stuff. Yeah, yeah. It's music is like magic, you know.
so Dusty's in there saying his pastor's wife was the teacher. That's my same case. It was the pastor's wife that was teaching us. We had the old metrodome. Is that what you call it? The
metronome, yeah.
tick-tock?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, I hated that thing.
you got to keep up, eh?
Yeah, right.
Time. Yep.
You know when everybody's supposed to clap to the music, I can't do that either. I'll do it for about 2 or 3 times. Next thing you know, I'm out of step. So
Oh man. Yeah, but you're good at building those sheds.
you know that all comes. I loved this old house in Norm, and that was some of my favorite stuff. But my uncle, which is where I get the Jackrabbit from, is he drew me a car, and he had a wood shop, and all he'd let me do is straighten steel nails. He wouldn't let me play with the fun stuff like the saws and stuff like that. But I guess that's where it started from. And I actually have a saw horse, it's a sanding belt and a table that he built, but it's about to fall apart. So that's going to be one of my first projects I'm going to work on is rebuild that. So his sanding belt will work for me again. Yeah. And then I got his original table saw too. So, but it's all steel, so don't have to do anything with it.
Well, you got to make sure it doesn't get rusty.
Well, I have been carrying that thing around with me pretty much my whole life. I mean, he passed away, I guess, when I was in my 20s, and they asked me what I want. Actually, they were fixing to sell it to my neighbor or to their neighbor. Yeah. And he was smart enough to ask me what I wanted, and I got a couple of items out of it, and then he ended up buying a lot of the other stuff. So,
yeah, I've got some of my grandfather's tools that I've restored, and I still use them, from time to time. And then I've got a lot of tools that I've bought over the years, and
I tell you, he was an artist. I mean, he really, just creative guy too. Yeah. And just could do stuff all the time. I found this wooden wheel in his shop when I was messing around one time. I said, "What's the story on this?" He said, "Well, I ended up making it so the kids would have a place to play." And this is back in the, I guess, early 60s. And he put a cable up between two trees, and they would ride that wheel down that cable. And he created a brake system and everything.
No kidding.
That all worked until a girl broke her arm. Oh, he had to take it down. So yeah, I missed out on that, but my brother got to play with it. So
girls spoil all the fun, don't they?
Yeah. but another thing he did. So he makes this. My dad was a veterinarian. Now we're in Sarasota, Florida, which is city, and I don't know how, but we ended up with a goat, and supposedly it was my goat. So he makes a goat cart. It's my birthday. They put me in this goat cart and let the goat go. And the goat's running down through the neighborhood as fast as it can go. And I'm just sitting there hanging on as hard as I can not to fall out. And they're chasing it. I think I was about 4 years old when that happened.
You probably scared the hell out of the goat.
Yeah. But he ended up making that thing, and that thing was pretty cool. He made my sister a playhouse, but the playhouse was a full-size house, but it was all panelized, and you could take it apart and lay it down flat and carry it on a trailer. But it was a 3D, 7-foot ceilings. I mean, it wasn't a full size, and it was probably, I'd say maybe 10 by 10 or something, maybe 10 by 12, something like that. It wasn't real big, but man, it was super nice. Had windows in it you could pick up and take down, and he was creative for what he did, and he was always doing this. And
now I have a question. Did you ever get the goat trained to where he wouldn't just take off running?
Let me tell you, that's the only ride I remember. And then I think after that, I remember pushing that go-kart around. So, we would be the goat and carry it around. One person would carry another one to ride. But another event he did on me was I would go down there in the summertime, and he was always coming up with something for us to do, and he wouldn't necessarily tell you what you were doing. And so he takes me out there and says, "All right, we're going to drive this rod down the ground." Okay, why are we doing this? Well, just let's go back inside and do something else. We come out an hour later, and he'd make me paint a number or a line here. We ended up making a sundial. And we did that all day, but that's how he wouldn't tell you what you were doing, but he'd keep you occupied the whole time. And then when you got done, it's like, holy cow, that's pretty cool. We made that, so he was a fun guy to be around. And he wasn't my uncle. He was anybody that was around. He was their uncle too, because he was the type guy that everybody gravitated to him. Yeah. And we would go to the beach, and his name was Unc. But my brother, which was older than me, couldn't say Unc, so he called him Monkey. And so, you know, everybody's trying to correct him and say, no, his name's Unc. He said, no, just let him call me Monkey. So I grew up only knowing him as Monkey. So we'd be out at the beach, say, hey, Monkey, let me jump off your shoulders. And it didn't sound strange to us, but before it was all done, any kid that was around there would be diving off his shoulders.
Wow.
That's the kind of guy he was. It's just, so we had a lot of friends that I didn't necessarily want. You know what that means? It's like, man, I got to share my uncle with everybody.
There you go, eh? Uncle Unc. Uncle
Yeah.
Monkey.
Uncle Monkey.
Uncle
Yeah.
Monkey. Yeah, good stuff.
I guess that's different than being a monkey's uncle. It's the inverse.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's great to look back on those times, isn't it? You know,
I can tell you, I owe a lot to him. I owe a lot to a lot of different people, but my career is based on him too. Because when it became my time to pick a career, there was only one job I knew I didn't want to be. I did not want to be a doctor or veterinarian because I'd lived that life pretty much and that's a nasty job. So
yeah.
So, you know, I can tell you medically, my aptitude is for that. I mean, I don't know what it is. Our family, my grandfather was a veterinarian as well. And, but I just got to see you're always on call. You never get to rest. You always getting everybody at their worst, you know?
Yeah.
And, yeah, I don't know. I just and like I said, my dad was a family vet, you know, just us. My mom was the nurse. We were the helpers. You know, if we had to do surgery, who do you think was on the other end holding the light or here, hand me this, you know, or hand me that? That was us.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I remember being in there one time. My sister is 2 years older than me, and so she's actually sitting there helping them. I'm over on one side, not really doing a lot, but watching. And medicine must have got to her, but she just fell out. Bam! Hit the wall. Well, guess who was next? It was me. So I got to finish that up. And you know, the other event I remember about that, I come running by one day, and my dad's in the back of the truck with his old sow. You know, sow being a female pig. And he said, whoa, come here.
You've got skinny arms, reach up in there.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. His arm was too big to go up there. And he was telling me what to feel for and what to do. And so, yeah, I got that fun event to do. So
I like the outsides of animals.
Man, it's, you know, that job there was bad. You know, we'd have to go pull calves from a calving cow. And, you know, it wouldn't be in the best. It'd be cold. Cow might be out in a mud hole. They couldn't get out, you know, or something like that. It was always kind of nasty. So
yeah, always just the worst when you have to call the vets to come in.
I remember a tractor ride in the rain out to chain a calf out. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. It's you get to experience it, man. You can't grab hold and pull. It's kind of hard to do. I grew up cropping tobacco was one of my early jobs, and we would every now and then you couldn't fill your own barn. You'd have to use your neighbor's barn, and so we were doing that. We had to go borrow this neighbor's barn, and of course the old timer would always come out there and say, "Well, who are you? Who's your daddy?" And he's trying to figure out what family you're coming from. And I said, "Well, my dad's Dr. France." I'm somewhat proud, you know, saying that's my dad. And he says, "Oh, really?" He said, "He almost killed my horse one time." So he put me back in my place real quick. I was kind of shy after that. And I went home and asked my dad about it. And he said, "Yeah, that dang horse was almost dead before I got out there. He waited till the last minute to call me."
Wow. Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah, they're angels of their own type for sure. You know, we've got a really good vet, and you know, we brought these two cats in, and we got a discount because you know we're regulars, and you know, and I think they felt bad. Last time I was at the vet with Mac, he was our black lab that was the greatest dog ever, and he'd been sick for a while, and we went in and they checked him out and made, checked his heart and did all this stuff, and they said, well, we're going to give you this prescription, and my wife was with me, and I said, well, I'll take him out, and we went out and he went over on the grass and he peed, and then he was walking back across the parking lot and he pooped as he was walking, which was odd for him. And I said to him, I said, Mac, get up in the truck. And he just looked up at me like I can't do it. And he dropped dead right there in the parking lot of the vet. And my wife came out and I said, I think the dog's dead. And she went running back in and they came out and they had the vet and an assistant, and they pulled the dog back in, shaved his arm, and checked him over. And they said, no, he's brain dead. There's no bringing him back. And I said, well, can I back the truck up to the other door so we don't have to carry him so far? And they gave us a blanket. They put him on the blanket and carried him out. And, it was heartbreaking for us, but you could see the heartbreak that they had too.
Mm-hmm. And they have to do it a lot.
Yeah.
Gary, it's tough. My dad, I told you we were in Sarasota, Florida when we started, or when, at least that's where I started. That's where I was born, actually. And down there, the way my dad would tell it, he says, look, down there, you had to worry about getting sued every time you turned around, because technically those animals are your family. I mean, it is an extended part of your family. And it really is that way.
Yeah.
Well, we moved to Mayo, Florida. It's a little different. My dad's still got that mentality of being in Sarasota and being very, very sensitive to everything that's going on. And, guy brings in his dog and he says, well, look, he's not going to make it. Do you want me to put him down for you? And the guy, he does it and gives him, he says, yeah, go ahead and put him down. So he puts him down and he says, that's going to be $15. $15? Dang, Doc, I could have took him out back and shot him. It would have been a 5-cent bullet.
Oh, man.
So that's the kind of mentality. All of a sudden, you're talking about shock. It's like, wait, it's a little different up here than it is down there. So.
Oh, man. We've had some other people join us in the last little bit here. Herman's with us now from Fly Zone Drone, and who else did I see? Ronnie from God Bless America's here, and Jody from Drone Shots. And did we mention that Uncle Bill's Toys is here?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Yeah. And with all these people here, we've passed the 20 like mark. We're at 22.
Hot diggity.
Yeah. So good stuff. We've got about 5 minutes left. Is there anything we missed? We didn't mean to bring stuff down with dead animals.
Well, no, I was so happy when Scott started telling a funnier joke about animal death.
What, better than the two monkeys? And yeah, okay.
I mean, Gary got everybody almost crying, and Scott's like, "Well, I got a funny story about a dog getting put down."
Well, all you got to do is laugh whenever it makes.
Wait till you hear about the one I got for you. This dog was out running in traffic.
So, Gary, you're sitting there talking about the vet and being nice to you. Our dog runs away, and people pick him up. It's like if you would have just left the dog alone, and they take it to the vet, and this is a beagle, and this son of a gun would rub his collar off. We couldn't keep tags on him or anything. And so the vet gets him, he puts him back, and figures out it's our dog, calls us and tells us. We come to get it, and he said, look, I didn't know if that dog had shots or not, so I had to give it a bunch of shots before I put it back there in my kennel. And I says, okay, well, what do I charge you? Well, he recognized my last name. He says, your dad isn't by any chance Dr. France, is it? And he's a veterinarian in Mayo, Florida. I said, that's him. He says, and I said, well, what's the charge? He says, oh, it's no charge. He said, I'm not about to tell you how much I charge for this. He says, you'll go back and tell your dad, and he's going to freak out. So I didn't pay anything.
Very good.
He asked me, he says, how many times have you paid a vet bill? I said, well, I never have. I've always had a vet. And he said, that's what I thought. He said, I'm not about to tell you how much.
Yeah. And now they microchip everybody, eh?
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah. One time this dog got picked up and went to the pound and they put the chip in it. So
Yeah.
after that.
Yeah. Both of our dogs are chipped. My daughter has a Shih Tzu, and my wife has a Shih Tzu. It was a Shih Tzu poodle cross, right? So they're rodent-sized animals, like they're the size of a large rat. So a little different than having the big black lab, you know. But
There's Brad. Brad's in here.
oh, Brad, yeah, Mr. Alston, Mr. Richmond, yeah. He was calling me Brant, so I figured I'd start calling him Richmond. You know, Brant County is where I live. Brant Aerials is where I fly, is what I fly, or what.
Your name's Gary Brandt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So right there.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for joining us, Scott. It was great having you on again, and our time is up.
That's incredible. I thought we just started.
Yeah,
Our time
Yeah.
is through.
it was a lot of fun.
So we
You know?
face
Yeah.
the
So
final
anyway,
Well, I'm disappointed to hear you not come to South Florida Drone Meetup.
well, I'm disappointed too, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. You know.
How's Jim doing? Y'all hearing from Jim?
I haven't heard from Jim in the longest time. He's working.
He sent me a text earlier today.
Yeah.
I've he's spoken to me once or twice through Facebook. So,
Yeah.
I enjoy hanging out with the Canadian group. So I normally have your flag behind me, but it's at Studio C, I guess.
Studio.
I guess I got 3 studios now. So
Yeah. Well, if I can't come down, maybe I'll send a flag or something.
there you go.
Yeah.
Or
So,
send stickers.
send stickers.
Oh, there, Warren's in here.
Oh, there's Warren. He's been
Warren's
lurking.
lurking.
He came just in time to watch the outro.
Mhm.
So
Do you know what button to push?
yeah, I figure I can sort it out. There we
Okay.
go.
Got a minute.
Yeah. There we go. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. It was great to see you, Scott. Thanks again, Don. And you guys hang on. We'll have a little chat after.
Well, I'm done doing that thing I was doing, and yeah, it took about an hour. But thanks for tuning in to In Touch with Brant Aerials. We'll see you in 2 more weeks.